Previously on Earth Eclipsed.
And we're broadcasting.
This is Dr. Alexine Prometh. We've been taken prisoner aboard a hostile vessel, the Gungnir.
I'm not asking for a lot here. Help me retrieve a memory. Hell, I even know which memory you're looking for and where to find it.
Welcome, citizens of the Concord, to the Museum of Galactic History.
Linus.
Effective immediately, the board revokes Dr. Prometh's access to any and all test sites
I can
and...
finish it in a month.
Nova, tie them up so they don't cause any more trouble.
I will blindfold them as well.
So without my equipment and human subject, I'm useless to you.
I'm removing the intermediary.
You're hooking her up to a resource monitor directly? You'll kill her!
Oh, get away from it!
I think you're wrong, Doctor.
A Concord cruiser has docked. Come on!
Rip her away!
There's no time. They're coming.
Are you ready?
Ready. Thank you so much for your concern. What's this? Oh, you've made me a card. How lovely. Oh, it's beautiful. I'll cherish it always.
Love you, Alex. Dr. Prometh. Dr. Prometh, over here. Valkavana, Capital Daily News. Would you mind answering some questions?
Dr. Prometh has just been through a terrible ordeal. She'll be more than happy to schedule an interview once she's recovered.
It's okay, Max. Please, go ahead.
As the first victim of a kidnapping in centuries, tell us, what was it like to experience violence at the hands of another person?
Terrifying. No one should ever have to go through that. We're all blessed to live in an era where violence is virtually non-existent.
But it isn't entirely non-existent, as this has shown. What do you think was the cause? Are the citizens of the Concord in danger? Should we be worried?
Absolutely not. It's an isolated incident. The person responsible isn't even a Concord citizen.
An outer worlder? How did he even manage to make contact with you?
He was a minor with limited Concord access. Access, I've been assured, has been revoked.
But based on this incident, shouldn't we restrict minors' access even further? Doesn't this prove that outer worlders are an inherently violent people who are a danger to the Concord?
It does not. Every human deserves to live in peace, comfort, and security. But not everyone has the luxury of that upbringing. It is not our job to condemn them. Rather, it is our responsibility to help them, to provide them with the advantages we have. This incident has only strengthened my resolve to complete my work. I will find a way to save the Outer Worlds, to keep them in harmony with the Concord. We will give them lives of happiness and prosperity. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much.
On the subject of your research, it's been confirmed that the 4 people missing from the Memory Project are dead.
With regards to that terrible
The Capital Daily News has managed to obtain copies of the release forms the test subjects signed. It seems that the risk of death was so minuscule it was almost entirely unpredictable. To have multiple deaths is an incredible bit of bad luck, wouldn't you say?
Yes. Well, improbable does not mean impossible.
Of course, it must have been devastating for you. We've been informed that there will be a memorial erected on behalf of those unfortunate citizens who willingly entered into your research and gave their lives in pursuit of saving others. How do you feel about that?
The deaths of those test subjects was a great tragedy. There is nothing in the history of my career that I regret more. However, those citizens embodied the ideals of the Concord through their selflessness and bravery. I am proud and humbled that they will forever be remembered as the heroes that they truly are.
Thank you so much for your time. That was Dr. Alexine Prometh, and this is the Capital Daily News.
Stars. It's nice to hear the sounds of the capital again. I never thought I'd miss that synthetic chirping so much.
I never thought I'd miss the walk back to Holocorp.
Dr. Prometh, I hope you'll forgive us for sharing the circumstances surrounding the test subjects and their deaths.
It's quite all right, Benefactor Una.
After the Parias interview, the Council of Benefactors thought it only fair to share the reality of what happened. There was no reason your name should be tarnished.
I appreciate your concern. What's important now is to ensure that those lives were not given in vain. The Abacus Project must be completed.
Yes, about that. Holocorp notified the Council that you've put in notice to retire. We were very saddened to hear.
Yes, I too have mixed feelings about it.
Given your stellar record of achievements, you've more than earned your rest. However, the timeline concerns me. A month from now? Especially given what's just happened, perhaps you'd like to take some time. Rest. There's no need for the project to be rushed.
I'd prefer to get back to work as soon as possible.
You're an example to us all, Dr. Prometh.
A reminder to all Holocorp employees that breaks are mandatory. You deserve your rest. Thank you, and enjoy your day.
Please hold up your palm so your personal identification chip can be scanned. Chip scan complete. Identity, Dr. Alexine Prometh. Entry permitted. Chip scan complete. Identity, Maximus Marxi. Entry permitted. Chip scan complete. Identity, Benefactor Una. Entry permitted.
Benefactor Una reporting, assuming command. Standard security protocol, Alpha 297.
What's this?
The rest of your security detail.
I thought it was just you.
We didn't want to alarm the public. From now on, your movement will be limited to facilities where the entire detail can accompany you, out of sight.
It seems rather excessive.
We still haven't managed to track down Nico, or his ship, nor have we identified the ex-security officer who was with him. Nova, I believe you said it was? Unfortunately, without a last name. Well, it's a very popular name.
I understand that, but 10 people.
Alex, we have no idea what that madman is capable of. Frankly, Benefactor, I think we should double it.
Dr. Alexine Prometh, please report to the office of Linus Marwell. Dr. Alexine Prometh.
Looks like I'm being summoned. You wanted to see me?
Dr. Prometh, I am so glad you're all right. I can't tell you how relieved I was to hear of your safe return.
Thank you, Linus.
I want you to know, the board was prepared to pay your ransom demands, whatever the price. The vote was unanimous.
How generous. Especially given my upcoming exit date.
It's nothing, truly. It's the least we could do.
Please, Linus, don't act so benevolent. You were willing to pay whatever it took to complete the Abacus Project. My life didn't factor into it.
Oh, the irony that you would accuse us of being self-centered. I heard your interview. You spouted some wonderful ideals and lofty goals, but in all of that, do you know what you didn't mention? Not even once? Holocorp.
It was an impromptu interview. I didn't have prepared remarks or thoughts from the board.
Frankly, you're lucky the Council of Benefactors bought the lie that the risk of those deaths was minimal. Not only did they buy it, they shared it with the public. What do you think your reception would have been if they knew the truth? They would still have been cheering your name, all right. Calling for your head. No more interviews, impromptu or otherwise. You stay out of the public eye, lest someone starts asking difficult questions.
My kidnapping is the biggest news on the Concord in centuries. Surely refusing interviews now might arouse suspicion.
This isn't the Dr. Alexine Prometh show. Without Holocorp, you'd still be at Prometh Tech, publishing papers in obscure holo journals. We provided you with the resources to get this far. This is our project. And when you're gone, and we give it to whatever capable scientist we find to fill your shoes, it will remain a Holocorp project.
Is that all?
One last thing. The Council has suggested to the board that we urge you to delay your retirement to give you some time to recuperate. The board's position hasn't changed. You have 1 month, not a day more.
I'd better get to work then.
What did Linus want?
Nothing. Let's get to the lab. Must you all follow so closely?
I'm sorry, Dr. Prometh, but the security detail is to remain with you at all times.
Right.
Please hold up your palm so your personal identification chip can be scanned. Chip scan complete. Identity, Dr. Alexine Prometh. Entry permitted. Chip scan complete. Identity, Maximus Marxi. Entry permitted. Chip scan complete. Benefactor Una. Entry denied.
Oh, Benefactor, I'm so sorry. Different parts of Holocorp require different clearance levels. My lab is a highly secured area. You must not have gotten the proper permissions.
So it seems. We did have to work quite fast to arrange everything.
The security office is on the first floor.
Wonderful. Dr. Prometh, are you coming?
I'm sorry, but I do need to begin my work. You understand.
But our orders are incredibly strict, and we
Benefactor, you know, that man can't even get onto the capital planet, let alone Holocorp grounds, let alone my lab. Let's not let fear drive us to irrationality.
But this is highly irregular.
I really must insist. Max, shall we?
Right behind you, Dr. Prometh.
Quickly, Max. Now's our chance. I'll pack up, you go back out there and distract them.
I don't understand.
Holocorp grounds aren't safe. That Nico knew far too much about our research. We need to evade the leaker. I'll get the equipment, you go to the first floor. When Benefactor Una and her team are done, show them back to the lab, but take the longest route possible. That should give me enough time to get everything and get out.
No, absolutely not. That lunatic is still out there. It's too dangerous.
Don't be ridiculous. He can't even get onto the planet. And isn't that a shame? To become an outcast just because your world descends into civil war and gets kicked out of the Concord? It's not his fault. I feel sorry for him. A person like Nico only exists because my research isn't complete.
Would you put that down?
Max, think of it. Once we're able to access the memories from former citizens, we will find the cause of civil unrest. We will find the roots of strife, and we will take preventative measures to ensure that no planet ever gets ejected from the Concord again. No more outer worlds. Every person in the whole of humanity will live under the protection of the Charter. Everyone will live in peace, comfort, and safety. Don't you want that?
All right. I'll distract them.
Wonderful. I'll meet you at the calming station by the promenade. I'll be in a private room at the back.
Alex? Are you in here?
Max, don't turn on the lights.
Why not?
Because I don't want you to be upset.
Why would I be upset?
I'm turning on the lights, but I need you to know that everything's fine. Do not be alarmed.
Okay.
Lights.
Oh! Is that blood?
Yes.
It's everywhere!
I took an anticoagulant, but it took slightly longer to work than I expected.
What did you do?
I blinded myself. With a laser scalpel.
I never should have agreed to distract Benefactor Una. We're getting your eyes repaired right now. Come on, we're going to a stem vat.
No, stop! Let me go!
Here I thought I was protecting you and you ended up hurting yourself.
Max, listen to me. Max, I shut down the resource monitor. When Nico hooked me up to it, it didn't shut down on its own. I was controlling it. From the inside.
How is that possible?
It seems that lunatic wasn't completely mad. By hooking me up to the data vault directly, it gave me unprecedented control. I was able to overload the circuit and shut it down.
Well, that explains it then. Something happened to your mind when you were hooked up. I'm taking you for a neurological assessment.
Listen! I realize I've been going about this all wrong. I shouldn't use test subjects. It's much more efficient if I'm hooked up to the vault directly.
Great idea. Connect directly. Try to watch a memory. And your amygdala, brainstem, pituitary gland, thalamus, cortex, and neocortex will all fire neurotransmitters at an unprecedented rate. And your brain will swell and you'll die!
Except I had another idea. While I was blindfolded. If sensory overload is the problem, why don't I just eliminate a sense?
Blindness isn't a magical power, Alex. You wouldn't know because it hasn't been around for ages. But it isn't like it is in the stories and myths. It does not grant people special abilities.
Max, I'm not looking for blindness to give me something extra. I'm looking for it to take something away. After the onset of blindness, there is a reduced density of some of the proteins in the neuron membrane. Don't you see? It won't matter at what rate the neurotransmitters fire. Part of the membrane that receives them will be dulled. It will prevent the overstimulation that leads to death.
Maybe. It's only a theory.
A damn good one, though.
So let's recruit new subjects. Test it out. You saw how the crowd reacted to the news of the memorial. We'll have people tripping over themselves to sign up. Risk of death be damned.
It will take months to get it approved. You remember how much red tape we had to go through to get the board to sign off on test subjects in the first place?
And? So?
We only have a month.
I'm sure the board will grant an extension, given the circumstances.
No, Max. They'll take my research and pass it on to someone less capable who will fumble their way through it, delaying this discovery. And that risks lives. I won't do it. I'm hooking myself up to this data vault. I'm retrieving a memory.
Well, you can try. But you can't do it yourself in this condition, and I'm not helping.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
Stop. Stop! You're going to destroy everything! All right, enough! Concord, forgive me.
Thank you, Max.
Sit down. Sit still. Alex.
Yes, Max?
If this doesn't work...
It will.
But if it doesn't, I want you to know, I've always had faith in you.
I know, Max.
I wanted to say it just in case.
Don't be morbid. If I feel it's going awry, I'll do what I did last time and shut it down.
I'm helping you under protest. I want to make that clear.
Objection noted.
Here we go. Alex! What have I done?
It's all right. Max, I'm fine.
Oh, thank the Concord you shut it off.
No. It worked.
It worked.
It worked.
You did it?
It was the most incredible feeling.
You accessed a memory. I knew you would. You're brilliant.
It's almost as if I was watching something real.
You're the greatest scientist in Concord history.
Think of the lives we'll
save. We have to
save.
get back to Holocorp. Tell everyone you've made the greatest discovery of our lifetime.
No.
No? What do you mean, no?
This is only the first step. There's so much more to be done. Holocorp will demand we hand everything over and leave.
As they should, Alex. You're a brilliant neuroscientist. Without a doubt, the greatest in Concord history. Your name will be remembered for generations. But taking memories and studying them to figure out why planets descend into chaos, it's an entirely different field. It's history, it's sociology, it's anthropology.
I'm not suggesting that I be responsible for that portion. Merely that I train the proper personnel to retrieve memories. Hundreds of people will be required.
And someone else can do it. When Jaime Tutatis invented hyperflight, do you think she personally installed the engines on every ship? Come on, Alex. Let's go back to Holocorp. Let everyone know you're the greatest scientific mind of generations, and reunite you with your security detail. Every second we're hiding from them, we're in danger of losing the most momentous discovery of our time.
It's my life's work, Max. I'm not giving it up.
Yes? Yes. Thank you. She's on her way to your office right now.
And where has she been?
Unclear. Apparently, she showed up at the Holocorp gate and asked for me.
Benefactor Una, I think you can agree that Dr. Prometh's actions are highly unusual. Lying to you? Stealing Holocorp equipment? This unfortunate incident seems to be affecting her more than she's letting on. Maybe we shouldn't wait the month. Maybe it would be best, for her sake, if we took the pressure off. Have her exit the project immediately. I'm concerned about her well-being.
You raise a lot of good points, Mr. Merwell.
Dr. Prometh! Thank the Concord. Dr. Prometh?
I have completed the Abacus Project.
What fantastic news!
Dr. Prometh, you are a true visionary.
Benefactor Una is bowing.
Oh, please, there's no need for that. Max, bring me to the benefactor.
Why is Max leading you?
I'm blind.
You're what?
Medic required. Urgent.
No. Don't make a fuss. I'll get my eyes repaired as soon as we're done here.
Doctor, are you certain?
Yes, I want to finish talking about the project.
Disregard.
Benefactor Una, I've made a decision. I'm not retiring.
The council will be overjoyed.
But, Dr. Prometh, you seemed so eager to take
I want to lead the rollout. I do, however, have one condition, and I do hope the council will be able to arrange it.
I'm sure they will do whatever is in their power.
Dr. Prometh, I know you're eager to discuss, but I'm worried about you. Perhaps you should get some rest before we take this
I want
up.
Holocorp gone.
Earth, Eclipsed. Episode 3, Return. Starring Allegra Rodriguez-Shivers, Reginald West, Christian T. Chan, Amy Linden, Michael Malconian, and Tali De Assis, with Daniel Dauphin and Elizabeth Ashby. Created and produced by Nicholas Proofer, A.J. Churchill, and Victor Lee. Directed by Nicholas Proofer. Written by Alexa Polivka. Music by A.J. Churchill, Shane Rutherford-Jones, and Alessandro Apolloni. Sound design by A.J. Churchill and Shane Rutherford-Jones. Our production interns are Eamon McCune and So Asidao. Earth Eclipsed is a production of The Lunar Company.